Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith Yahweh, unto the wicked. Call halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Brakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000 at Tabernacle of David, who are ordained to be the new government here on earth in righteousness and justice, all right? And the head of that government will be King David, and the head of King David will be who the world fraudulently and falsely calls JC. All right, he's coming down to destroy the kingdoms of the earth and set up the 12 tribes of Israel as the new ruling government forever, on earth as it is in heaven. In Revelation, when the new heaven was coming down, that's what it is, the tabernacle of David. All right, and to the rest of the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. All right, this is not a black only thing. The Israelites got scattered among all people. That's why the Lord is going to use the angels to separate the wheat from the tares upon his return. And to the few Akwaf, the sisters that are listening and learning, to you, I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And yeah, I got this video from beloved brother Barak out in the LA camp, and I think he sent it to me last night, late last night or early this morning. And then not long after, I got it from Apostle Ramlab. It spread around pretty quick, and that's the one of the Marine who gets his arm broke for speaking up against Israel. He said that trigger word. All right, he just came out and said what the majority of Americans are feeling, that they do not. They're feeling like this is wrong. People starting. What do they call it? The Great Noticing. They're seeing that all America's efforts are for the embedment of Israel, the citizens of Israel, including those who have dual citizenship here. And while Americans are suffering, can't get jobs, have very little to no health care, in debt. Meanwhile, the Israelis are living high on the hog. They don't have medical bills, they don't have college bills, and their children get checks monthly, from the American taxpayers. I mean, literally Americans are fronting the bill for them and letting them live a lavish lifestyle in the billions. And we're talking about billions of dollars yearly. Okay, when it breaks down to how many millions weekly and monthly, but they're living delicious. And while Americans are suffering, and quite frankly, they're tired of it. Okay, so you got a strong buildup of insurrection talk and feelings coming from citizens now, and from a lot of women. So I'm going to play this video. You see, this was put up by the beloved brother from GMS Dedication. But yeah, we're just going to play. I'm going to play some of these videos that he used in his, and then I'm going to add a commentary to the Marine part that I have heard no one else speak upon. All right, because what you got to understand is that the Commandant of the Marine Corps was in the room when this happened. And so the Marines are not what they used to be. Because I'm going to tell you right now, had that been a combat unit, if there were a couple of grunts in there, all those security officers would have got a beating. They would have got beat pretty severely, and it would have been a big brawl, and they would have had to. A lot of Marines would have went to the brig. I know if they would have done that to one of the guys in my unit, they would have had some problems. Okay, 370 get down like you touch one, you touched all. It was on. So, and the sad thing is that the Marine Corps is the tip of the spear for American military. Okay, they're the creme de la creme as far as for the military. You got your special units. You got the the different things in the Army. The Navy. You got the Navy SEALs out of the from the Navy. You get, I think, Delta Forces. The Delta Forces basically special groups from all of them. You got the Army Rangers, the Scouts, and then you got Stay Platoon. You got the Marine Corps Sniper Platoon, and then you also have Marine Force Recon. Okay, so with that being said, the Marine Corps is literally the tip of the spear of the American military system. Okay, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of knowledge about how it works. Because see, if you're looking at the spear or an arrow, okay, the very arrow tip that penetrates into the target, that would be the Marine Corps. The Navy and the Air Force, would basically, or I would say the Navy and the shaft. All right, that will be your Army and the Navy, because what the Army's job is when the Marine Corps penetrates an area, okay, it's the Army's job to come sit on that area so that it doesn't get taken back. And then the Marine Corps goes out further and takes another area, and then the Army follows them and then sits on that so it doesn't get taken back. And that's how it works. And the Navy and the Air Force basically give supplies for the Marines and the Army. That's primarily how the military works. And then, you got underwater demolitions and stuff like that. Like when pipelines need to be blown up, that's where you get your frogmen. That's where you get your Navy SEALs. They specialize in underwater tactics and demolitions and things of that nature. All right. And so this is a very bad look for America. So I've rambled enough. Let's get this going.
Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel first?
Israel first.
Israel first?
Yes.
Before America?
No, of course not.
You fat penguin? That's what you have to say?
You're going to get in a lot of trouble.
You're a fat, disgusting penguin, sir.
No, you're a loser.
You're a fat, disgusting penguin.
Loser. You're the biggest loser that ever existed. All you guys are losers.
You're a fat,
You're
disgusting
losers that
penguin.
hate America and hate Jews.
You're a fat, disgusting penguin, sir.
So you notice he had to throw that hate Jew in there. And he didn't say anything about hating anyone. He just said America first or Israel first. That hate wasn't even a part of the conversation. And that's how they always try to twist it. Okay?
You're a
How do you
fat,
feel about Palestine again? Can you let us know?
It's Syria.
You're,
Nobody gives a shit, right?
you said nobody
Can you
gives a
read?
shit, right?
What? Al, I'm leaving. You don't have the right to harass people in these halls.
We're just asking you a question, sir. You cursed at us, bro.
I did not curse
You said nobody gives a shit. Excuse me, sir. You support the war with Iran? Iran? No? You're a coward, sir.
Is it a matter of just calling the committee to get added?
Guys, do you guys support the war on Iran? Huh? You look like Israel first, sir. You support Israel first or America first? Any stance, sir? What's on your phone? Let's see what's in your phone, guys. Oh, you put it up. America first or Israel first, guys? Thanks, guys. We got that answer loud and clear. Let's double verify what office this is.
You got to remember, they're in the halls of Congress. Okay? And it gets worse. But I digress from that. Let's move on to what happens with this Marine. All right? And you can see this, they call that a salad bar on his chest. He's definitely it looked like he had a combat. He's had deployment. This guy's been around. He's seen some things. Okay?
Going to send our men and women to harm's way when our elected officials said that there would be no war. Anybody who feels disillusioned and betrayed by our government, you're not alone. Join us in demanding accountability for this betrayal. Free Palestine, free America. Let's go.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
all our...
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine.
He called for help from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. And the Commandant did not stand up for the Marines. America's done. It's finished. There would be no America without the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is just as old as America.
Stand up for America.
And his arm gets stuck in the door.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. His
Ah,
hand.
you saw it and heard it break.
His hand.
Let go of your hand. Let go of the door. Let go of the door. Can you
A senator broke his hand. A sitting U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. Control your Senate.
stuck in the door?
So you can see the people are visually and physically upset watching this happen to this Marine who's clearly fought for his country and believed in his country, and to have this happen to him, especially with so many high-ranking, because if the Commandant of the Marine Corps was there, that means that there were colonels and other generals and very high-ranking officers. And the fact that any officer, whether you were if you were an Army officer or a Navy officer, to watch this being done to a soldier who just spoke the truth. And the truth of the matter is, they're supporting, all of them are violating the vows that they took, because the matter of fact, let me get a receipt. The law of the land. Okay, as a matter of fact, thinking about it, in 1983, Reagan declared the Bible, the King James Bible, the ultimate law of the land, and they clearly don't follow any of that, because it's just find it strange that they can find their way around the world and kill, the Iranian supreme leader, but they can't bring to justice all these because a lot of those men's in those halls are in those in those files, and they can't bring any of those pedophiles to justice though. But you can go bomb somewhere else, But I should have followed my first thought. I was looking for something. Well, maybe the Lord will bring it back. I went to my receipts to grab something. My mind be faster than my tongue. It'll come back. But nevertheless, this is a very bad thing. This is a very bad look. And this is a shame to America. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Let's go to Habakkuk, because you best believe this is going to be talked about. And this clip is going viral. I've seen it probably about 40 different times already. I've seen it. It's been on Facebook. It's been on. I'm sure it's on TikTok. It's all over Instagram, and it's all over YouTube. All right, but this is Habakkuk 2:16. And it reads, I'm going to start at 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou may look upon their nakedness. And that's what they did. They made people drunk with the lies. We're bringing democracy, and the truth of the matter is we're coming to democracy grenade. You can't say without the other, because when you bring in democracy, you're coming to take something from someone. And they found some oil. It's time to go bring those people some democracy. You find some gold, you got to bring them some democracy. You find some iron ore, any sort of ground mineral. You find, they find some really nice soil that has nice olives and grapes. It was time to bring them some democracy. All right. Oh, you find some opium fields. Definitely got to come bring them some democracy. Grenade. You can't say one without the other, because democracy is that wine. All right. And then what follows that? Loose women, broken homes, alphabet lifestyles, and children being, Because what makes, and then when and this is silly that you would think you're going to get justice from a nation when all its leaders are a bunch of baby eaters and weirdos, all working for the small hats. Verse 16, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, and a cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. And this is also going to disenchant a lot of people, make a lot of people not want to join the military. You already got those sailors that messed up that $1 billion destroyer or Air Force carrier, aircraft carrier. All right, by backing up the septic tanks, they put socks and T-shirts into the toilets and made shit and piss back up, a foot deep all throughout the ship. So that ship was decommissioned, and it's going to take them months to clean that ship, before it can go join the fray over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
A U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
He broke his arm, actually.
A U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward.
He called the senator a coward and a punk.
That's why you got kicked out, fat ass.
And so that guy's a former soldier himself. And so clearly that senator got kicked out of the whatever branch of service he was in. How does he even how do you get kicked out of a branch of service and you still get to become a senator? Oh boy, that's a lot of nepotism going on, I suppose.
Everybody sit down, please. Sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please.
I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please. Is your hand okay?
No, it's not.
This is disgusting. Disgusting.
Just pull it out.
Look at you guys. You're robots. You won't even look back. Why are you getting arrested?
Yeah, they won't even look back. As this Marine, got his arm broke. All those, the commandant of the Marine Corps was there. It's shameful. He lost the respect of every Marine that's serving right now. He didn't even raise up, turn around, or say nothing. If that commandant would have spoke, he would have got he had command over the whole room. And no, not one of them turned around. All right? You best believe he lost the trust. America's done, bro. It's done. And then they arrested the Marine.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Palestine will be free.
And what about this war in
Then
Iran?
watch this asshole take his broken arm and twist it behind his back.
His arm.
Okay. Ah, fuck, my arm is fucking broke, bro. Okay.
What a fucking
My arm
asshole.
is broke.
He's a piece of shit. This dude right here. I bet he's a JOO too. All right, so let's go to the next thing. These people are really pissed. Let's go to this guy. Let me read the scripture before. Right about there. Well, let me get Second Ezra, because that's where we're headed, man. This is Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. And it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The sword, the modern day sword, is a gun. All right. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. These people are ready to go against their crooked government officials. Oh, now I remember what I was looking for. The receipts. All right. Because what those officers should be doing is they should be standing up, and they should be basically going to arrest Trump and all his cabinet for vaguely, publicly, and purposely violating the law of the land. They did these strikes and has gotten us into a war. Now America's trying to back out, and Iran is winning. They're tearing up all American shit over there and the Israeli shit. And then in the midst of that, the Israelis shot missiles on their allies. They want to get rid of all brown people. All right? And you people still trust these people. But I remember the receipt I was looking for now. It's the one about the law of the land. But yeah, because what's his name? Reagan in 1983 made the statement that it was the year of the Bible, and he stated that the King James Bible was the ultimate law of the land, but yet they don't follow what's in the Bible, right? You know, because guess what? They were trafficking, and raping women and children and eating them back then too. Okay? But here's a deceit for the law of the land out of the Black's Law Dictionary, Volume 1. And it reads, the general misconception is that any statute passed or legislation bearing the appearance of law, like what Trump does, like so many presidents before him has done as well, but he's really been doing, all right, passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid. This is succinctly stated as follows: all laws are repugnant to the Constitution are none and void. All right? That's what it's breaking it down to you, okay? So that is clearly what the law of the land is. And we have a government, a sitting president, senators, and representatives that violate the law of the land with their legislation, with their lobbyists, with their JOO lobbyists every day. All right? They did it with COVID. They were violating the laws of the land. No one's been arrested for any of that. And all those people that died because of those lies and that fraud, because the cure killed more people than the actual disease did. And that's fact. That can't be denied now.
Iran, there's going to have to be a ground invasion. This ground invasion is going to be the bloodiest since World War II. China and North Korea have both started sending troops to Iran. This is going to be casualties that you cannot even.
Hey, Joel, the second chapter, Joel 2, and the third chapter, Salakia. Joel 3 and 2. And I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And why he's bringing them there? He's bringing them there to destroy them. The Lord is doing this. Now, remember, this thing is not going to go full blown. We are in World War III. Do not get it twisted. But it's not going to go full blown to where, you know, where glowing arrows are flying from one end of the earth to the other to melt stuff away. Not until the micro C-hip is enforced. Revelation 13 is enforced, and insurrections and and false flag events and blaming it on different terrorists and stuff like that. That could very well kick it off. All right. And those things are coming. And all this buildup is going to lead to that. And it's going to lead to the insurrections. And I believe it's the insurrections they're going to, that's going to make them, because they're going to try to quell everything and bring everything back into order. And the way they're going to reestablish order is, well, we're going to chip everyone. And now we can control and know where you are and who you are and blah, 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 blah. They're going to try to do that. All in the name of science and safety. And we already know, for when they say peace and safety, that's why Isaiah 48 tells you, 48 and 22, there is no peace unto the wicked. So things are going to progressively get worse, and there are going to be mass casualties like never before.
Fathom. The casualties are going to be through the roof. We're going to see C-130s coming home full of bodies.
Yep.
That's what America is looking at. I'm not proud of it. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
And that's what that Marine was trying to warn the people. We don't want American, sons and daughters to go die for the Israelis. who sing and dance, you know, while your children, they're singing and dancing songs, dancing all off beat because they clearly aren't the people, while the caskets are dropping.
I'm saying that this all can still be stopped if we drag Donald Trump out of the White House.
Ooh-wee.
Iran is not a threat to America. Iran is zero threat to America. Iran is a threat to Israel. Iran is in no way a threat to America. But Donald Trump and his bid to stay out of prison for raping and killing children
let the truth come out.
Will stop at nothing.
Yep.
As I've said 1,000 times, he will gladly send your sons and daughters into the meat grinder and them come home as hamburger. He does not care about you or your children or this country.
Because the President of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile! And the Israelis gathered blackmail on him through Jeffrey Epstein for fucking decades, knowing that if they could get that cocksucker into the fucking Oval, then they would finally get exactly what they have wanted for the past 47 years, which is to destroy Iran!
That was great detective work there, buddy. All right, this guy down here, that was great detective work because that is exactly what happened. Okay? I'm going to, now let me go into these videos, and I'm just going to play a few of them. They're all short. Because, yeah, we'll start with her. And you got to do a little reading, so I'm going to hold it in front of the phone. This chick doesn't say anything. She just puts up memes and, you know, and you'll see for yourself. Okay? Now, hold on. Let me get the music. Well, you know what? Might get a copyright, so. But it says, you know, unite, and if you're a cattle, give me a follow. Okay, this is the sentiment. All right, what is this one? It says there is absolutely no justification for, you know, that to Iran. The only country we should be attacking is. Yeah, you see? Let's go to the next one. That sentiment is growing with, and it's a lot of women. This one, she talks about, little mustache dude. Okay, let me go back. Remember when Lil Mustache said if he lost, the world would be run by satanic pedophile JOOs? He lost World War II, and guess who's running in control of the world? So I guess, Lil Mustache was right. So let me get this right. The United States can find and kill a leader of a foreign country halfway around the world, but can't find any of the pedophiles and child traffickers from that list and arrest any of them in their own country. Yeah. Okay. There's a couple other things here. I'll save those for another time. But say that one for another time. But let's listen to him now.
Iran dropping every single rocket in their arsenal.
Hold on.
And I support Iran dropping every single rocket in their arsenal right in the middle of Israel.
This guy's a Marine, ex-Marine himself.
Country off the map. That's what I support. I don't support Iran. I don't support Israel, but of the two, I would rather see Iran wipe out Israel and watch how fast the war ends. The sad part about it is these same veteran content creators have zero knowledge of what's even going on over there. None. They don't spend hours and hours a day researching outside of government propaganda to educate themselves so they can make informed decisions. For those of you with dual citizenship in this country with the United States and Israel, it's time to pack your bags, get the fuck out of our country, and go die for the country that you actually show allegiance to, because it's not the United States. Go back to your homelands with your Jewish chosen people, and go fight, because if you really believe you're God's chosen people, trust me, they're going to need your help. And God will protect you, right? So go back and fight for your country, God's chosen people.
Yeah, so as you can see, the Americans are really fed up with this whole, there's some army guys also getting shamed. Because what they should be doing is, like I said, they should be arresting these people that are breaking the law of the land. You're as a military person in America, you take an oath, and that oath is first to uphold the Constitution and to come against anyone, whether foreign or domestic. And right now it's completely domestic, who comes against the Constitution. So you have a cabinet that's completely violating the Constitution. And these military people, well, we saw in that video, not one of those Marines, one of those high-ranking officers in the Army, the Marine Corps, or the Navy, none of them stood up for that Marine who actually did nothing wrong, except I guess it's wrong to speak the truth. Let's finish this.
I support.
Let's finish this. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. We want verse 15, I believe. 16. Nope, 17. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because it's going to be martial law. They have checkpoints and all sorts of things. For because of their pride, cities shall be troubled and houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. So it's going to get apocalyptic out here, and like I said, I believe that when this happens is when they're going to try to bring this down and give some sort of normalcy. They're going to try to enforce the MOTB somewhere after they let after so many people die in these riots and these lawless situations, when there's no power, no lights, and the only rule of law is how many bullets you have and how many people you have on your side. It says, a man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and shall spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And this action in over there in the Levant, in the Straits of Hormuz, is going to speed that up, because Iran has completely shut off the Straits of Hormuz. And so there's going to be no oil, and lots of goods and services will not be coming back and forth to America, to Europe or Africa. Only places that are going to be getting anything will be the ones that Iran allows. So that means the BRIC nations and the nations that are with the BRICS, well, they're going to be fine, but all the American and all its partners are not. And that's just going to make more people turn away from America and bring us to that point when the nations shall hate the whore, and they're already there. All right, so you're going to see more and more American allies bail on them and join the other side. Okay, so with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahak, Wadash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abad Babal.